Joys.
All right, we'll just go after national anthem, I think.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome you to Boss Fieldhouse for tonight's opening game of the 2016-17 season. At this time, we invite you to please stand to honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome Hope College, Julian Lee, and Paul.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets did glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well done, and thank you, Jillian Ann Kennedy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DeVos Fieldhouse for this season opener for the Hope College Flying Dutch women's basketball team as they take on the Thunder of Wheaton College. I'm Blaine Wiersbicki, along with Carly Van Swoel. We're excited to be back for some basketball action. Finally, Carly. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is good. To be back in basketball season. We've covered some soccer and some football, but it's a great time to start this season out with some girls basketball against Wheaton, both phenomenal programs. So this will be a really good game between the two matchups, both having really great seasons last year. Wheaton pulled out as tying for their conference championship, and in this new preseason poll, they're ranked 21st by the D3hoops.com poll, and Hope won their conference last year, and they are ranked top 10 for their preseason D3 hoops poll, and both teams are expected to do very well in their conference. Wheaton's expected to have a really good contender as conference champs, and Hope was voted in the MIAA as most likely to win their conference. So these are two great matchups. Both teams very guard heavy. Wheaton really likes to get the ball in the hands of McDaniels, Katie McDaniels, who's a senior who averaged 17 points per game and was named the D3 Hoops Central Regional Player of the Year and the CCIW Player of the Year. She averaged almost 5 assists per game and 2 steals as well, so definitely one of those senior leaderships that Wheaton's really going to try to take advantage of. In Hope as a whole last year, they got a lot of returning seniors. Elizabeth Perkins is going to be a huge contender for them. Angelique Gaddy. Frankie Buchanan is going to be one of those girls that all eyes are going to be on her. As Maura McAfee graduated last year, huge contributor to Hope's team. Huge scorer, big rebounder for Hope. So a lot of eyes are going to be on Frankie Buchanan, who's going to try to step in those shoes, but she's going to do the best of her ability and do it in her own way.
And we just heard our starting lineups here, and let's take a look at those starting lineups for both teams. For Wheaton, at the guard positions, it'll be Chantel Meacham and Katie McDaniels, of course. McDaniels, the leading scorer for Wheaton last year, 17 points a game returning. Devin Kyler at center, and the forwards Maggie Dansdale and Kelly Lawson. For Hope, Francesca Buchanan, Frankie they call her, stepping in to fill those big shoes, but certainly a talented player. Angelique Gaddy and Tyra Smith at the guard spots. Mandy Traversa and Madison Gears are your forwards. And those are your starting lineups for Hope and Wheaton. And with that, we're just about ready to get started here from the Voss Fieldhouse. Finally ready to kick off 2016-2017 season. Full teams up and ready for the tip. Devin Kyler right across from Frankie Buchanan.
We got the sophomore showdown out here.
Yeah, Kyler's a 6'2" forward, and Frankie at 6 foot. And it's tipped up. Nobody could get it at first, and coming down with it eventually is Mandy Traversa, and now to Angelique Gaddy. Gaddy, top of the key. 2 screens coming up top. We're trying to get her some space. A little stagnant at first. There's Gears. Now out onto the wing for Smith. Drives inside. Great drive. A little bit of contact. Nothing called. That eventually is going to go off of Frankie Buchanan and out. Looked like she had a chance for an offensive board.
And Smith coming in as she tore her Achilles last season really early on in the first couple weeks of the season. So this is her first game back in almost a year. So really exciting to see her back out here, and starting is just a huge honor, and what a comeback.
All the way out onto the opposite wing. 3 ball going up. That one's halfway down and out. Offensive board. That's a wild look, but another rebound from Devin Kyler. McDaniels goes up to the right, but a little bit too hot off the glass. Could not get it to go. Here's Gears the other way. Looking to push, but Wheaton back on defense. And here's Gaddy. Gaddy out to the right wing. There's Traversa. Looking to create some space. Back onto the wing for Gears. Looking inside, Gaddy had the pass taken away. Here comes Kyler. Good dish. That layup is good. First points, Chantal Meacham. And Buchanan looked to the ref, thought that she was pulled underneath, which allowed Kyler to come around and get the steal. Now on the wing, it's Smith.
But huge play by Kyler, and being able to dribble the ball up the court as a big and make that pass is a huge advantage for a team to have, to be able to trust their big girl to dribble it up.
Gaddy puts it down. There's 2 tied up right here. Angelique Gaddy, the senior, dealt with injuries throughout her career here. Back and ready to go, and that's touched twice in a row, so it'll go to Hope anyways, but for some reason not called. McDaniels lost it and then grabbed it again. Must have been declared a slip, allowed to grab it again. Thought she was going for a pass, and at the last second decided that there was no one there. That one's just a bit too strong off the glass again. Pushing up ahead here. Chance for Kyler out on the break. Rolls it around the rim, gets to go. And Devin Kyler with the bucket.
And Kyler doing the things that you want early from a big, running up and down the court, beating her girl up the court is something huge. And to get open and find that open space is every point guard's dream on a fast break.
Inside, Buchanan lost it. It's out of bounds. A tough start for Frankie Buchanan. And right there, just a little bit trouble controlling the basketball. Had the ball taken away down in the post. Right now, Kyler giving her all she's got, and certainly showing. 4-2 lead for Wheaton early on. Inside the paint, that's a travel, and they do call it.
And you got to expect in these first couple minutes of the first quarter that it's going to be kind of rough for both teams. Yeah, they've had game-like situations in practice, but it's against your own teammates. When you get out here in the first game, the first court, you're still trying to smooth out all the ruffles.
That one wide. Smith couldn't get it to go, and a rebound. Wheaton trying to push up ahead. Katie McDaniels got an easy 2. It's a 6-2 lead early for Wheaton. Coach Morehouse barking out a few signals. And obviously not too thrilled with the start here, 6-2. The Dutch have looked stagnant on offense and haven't been able to get back to stop that break from Wheaton a couple times now. Now inside, Frankie goes up, gets that one to go. And that's that little quick turnaround. She likes to put up that short jumper in the paint. We've seen her work on that a lot last year. If she can become more consistent in making that kind of shot, she's going to be a tough player to stop. Into the corner, Daniels goes up. Lefty layup wouldn't go. Gears couldn't get the board. Instead, it's Danzel puts it up short off the rim. And now Traversa comes down with it. Maggie Dansdale there had a good look, couldn't get it to drop. Good spin. Gaddy gets inside off the back of the rim and it falls. That's a smooth move. It's 6-all.
And Gaddy's very dangerous one-on-one. She's got a lot of the dribbling skills and just really finds her way to the basket. She has that spin move. She has a good crossover that anyway, anyhow, she's going to get to the basket.
That one knocked down. 15-footer good. And it's a 9-6 lead for Wheaton. Over to Gear. She'll have a 3 look from the wing. That one's pure. Nothing but the bottom of the net, and it's 9-all. The Dutch quickly tie it up. Katie McDaniels now on the wing, working on Smith. Gets by, goes to the rack, missed the layup again. And McDaniels doing a nice job getting good looks, but just can't finish right now. So here's Gaddy, now Traversa. Also a dangerous three-point threat, has some height as well. Really a difficult matchup for a lot of teams. Here's Gaddy down in the corner now, just looking to make something happen halfway through the shot clock. Live inside, looking for Buchanan. The pass was there. Pretty good ball. Buchanan looked like she just swatted out of bounds. Probably a chance to catch it, but couldn't bring it down. And she'll get a chance to get the bench. We'll get some subs coming in. Elizabeth Perkins, just off a soccer season where she led all of NCAA Division III in goals in the nation. And two-sport athlete coming out here. Quick turnaround. Also coming in for the Dutch, Jacqueline Schwark, as well as the freshman Selena King, highly touted recruit from Mount Notre Dame in Cincinnati. King getting her first action at the collegiate level. Beecham down in the corner. Offense foul going to be called. That's a charge, and the Dutch will take over. Great positioning right there, getting in front, making sure that you're outside of that charge circle. And now the Dutch are going to get back tied up. Chance to take the lead early on.
And Jackie Schwartz is definitely one of Hope's biggest defenders and just really does a great job of finding a girl in that help defense and right there and just knowing when the proper time is to take a charge.
Perkins goes up, back at basket, good for 2, 11-9 lead for the Dutch. Perkins scoring goals on the soccer field right out here, putting it through these nets in DeVos. What a talented athlete, no doubt about that. Skip pass, back and forth, now inside, that one's good, and this time Katie McDaniel's able to get the layup go, and especially over the outstretched arms of the defense there, good look, 11-all. Perkins, now Schwark in the corner. We're gonna get a foul call down low. Schwark was looking to back down Mel Bremhorst. He checked into the game, picks up the foul. And another guard coming in yet for the Dutch. Paris Madison, the senior guard, going to take the place of Angelique Gaddy. Mentioned before, very guard-heavy team. They can keep rolling them in. You're not going to lose a lot of quality with the substitutions. You can keep fresh legs in. This one to Traversa. Couldn't handle it initially. Perkins has to go to the ground. Now gets out to Traversa. The Dutch have been a little sloppy just hanging on to the basketball for something as simple as that early on. And this time King, as soon as I say that, loses it right out of bounds. And 11-all, 4:02 left here in the first. Pretty tight game, a little bit of sloppy play. We've seen some pretty good shots that have been missed by Wheaton, and as I mentioned, Hope just a little bit of trouble holding on to the basketball. Top of the key, Meacham backs it out now. Guarded tight by Madison. Into the corner, Daniels is gonna drive, kick out, wide open look, top of the key, Meacham gets it to go. And right there, that's what a player with the caliber of Katie McDaniels could do. Draws down the secondary defender to help. And wide open at the top of the key. Defense couldn't shift quick enough. Gives the Thunder a 3-point lead. King this time goes through. She's blocked. And the same move twice in a row we've seen from King. Daniels is going to try and go the length. Puts it up and misses yet another layup. She's getting to the basket at will. Dutch don't have an answer. Coach Morehouse pleading with his team to hustle up the floor. He wants to get things moving, pick up the pace on offense. Traversa inside. Schwartz going to put it up. Couldn't get it to go. And a foul is going to be called there on Perkins. Perkins quickly helping out McDaniels. Perkins has, besides being a great athlete, some of the best sportsmanship you'll see out of anybody out on the soccer field, always willing to help somebody up, and you see it again right there out here on the basketball court.
Yeah, she's one to not be afraid to be aggressive, but she knows when she knocks him down, she's always shown that sportsmanlike attitude and being that senior leader for her teammates and really leading by example.
Just some miscommunication here, perhaps. That one finds its way out. So a turnover. And Kyler back into the game for the Thunder. Heather Randall, the inbound here, recently checked in for the Dutch. Out of the wing now, Perkins. Back up top, there's Schwark. Out for Madison. Going inside, that's what the Dutch want to do. Not sure what Schwark was looking for there. Now Perkins on the wing. Driving right side, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Wheaton defense has been spectacular so far. Dutch have had nowhere to go. Perkins gonna have to take this into her own hands, try and drive here. She does well, but this one won't go. That's tipped out, it's off of Schwark, and it's gonna go to the Thunder. And right now, there doesn't seem to be a lot going on offense for the Dutch. And the Thunder have been able to hold them off defensively very well. And they've got a 3-point lead now with the basketball, and here comes McDaniels up the floor. Madison playing that tight defense out of the wing, definitely a player that'll extend. Out for Kyler, that one's off the mark. Madison fighting for a rebound, looked for a second to be grabbed over the top by Maggie Dansdill, but eventually the Dutch are able to rip it down. Under 2 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Madison.
Madison's one of those great players where no matter her height, she always shows that you can always rebound despite being one of the shortest girls on the court.
Schwark fires from 3, that wouldn't go. Swung all the way across, McDaniels wanted it, looking like she might line up a shot. That's pretty deep to take from there. Now driving right side, that pass was tipped in the corner. Nice cut inside. And that's some good old-fashioned basketball right there. Pass and cut. Dansdale found her way right down the lane. And it's a 5-point lead for the Thunder. Frankie Buchanan looking to check back in for the Dutch. Kyler going over the top, poking it away. Madison out on the wing. Here's King up top. Will launch a deep 3. That one off the back of the iron. McDaniels has it poked away. Nice play from Madison. Great hustle. Under a minute now. The Dutch have it back, but and that one's lost by King out of bounds. And the freshman struggling early on. He's missed a couple shots. Lost one out of bounds earlier. Lost one out of bounds again. Has been blocked as well. And sometimes you wonder if it's a freshman, somebody who you know, based on the recruiting, fairly highly touted recruit, just trying to do a little bit too much early on. And at the same time, though, somebody's got to provide an answer for this offense for the Flying Dutch. And it just seems fairly stagnant right now. Not a lot of movement. They're trying to get inside, and Wheaton, one of the few teams that the Dutch will see that can really compete with that size inside. Good defense, but offensive board is grabbed. Maggie Dansdale with another bucket.
And one of the questions for this Hope team was how is Hope gonna react now that Mara's gone?
Inside, there's Buchanan. That's who needs to step up, take the place of McAfee.
Since McAfee was their big rebounder, it's going to be a huge thing. Someone on Hope's team has got to step up and get all those rebounds that McAfee got for them last year.
Smith playing some tight defense up top, going by Dansdale to the rack. Gets by the defender. That's another bucket. 20-13 lead. 6 seconds left. Madison's got to get something going. See if she takes a shot. Drives. Good drive. Has it knocked away, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. And a great showing for the Thunder. They've got a 20-13 lead over the Dutch. And the Dutch shooting about 43% of the field from the field, but Wheaton shooting a little bit better, making half their shots, 50%. And right now it's just a few turnovers, 5 for each team, but they seem to be more impactful for the Dutch as they weren't really forced turnovers. They just lost a few basketballs and struggling early on a bit. Dutch trailing by 7 through 1 quarter.
I think it's interesting, this whole offensive set that they're trying this year is they're really slowing it down, trying to work that ball in the middle, and they've done a really great job of passing it around, but no one's really gotten in that open position or really driven or not really cutting with a purpose. Last year we saw a lot of give and goes or fast breaks was this team's go-to, and we see a lot of that from Wheaton today, but not a lot from Hope. So it'll be interesting to see if they switch to go back to that, or they're going to try to keep forcing that ball in the middle and trying to get that set offense to go. So
as we look at things as far as players being played for the Dutch, already 10 in the game, 8 for Wheaton. Certainly goes to show how much depth this Hope College team has and that they've had in the past. Nothing new here, but in the first quarter, seeing 10 different players coming in, and 4 points apiece for Buchanan and Gaddy. Gears with 3 and Perkins with 2 on the other side. Stansdale came up with 3 buckets, has 6 points to lead the Thunder. And that takes us into the second quarter. And Hope, a team that's used to getting out to lead early on. We've seen them lead by as much as 30 at halftime. A little different spot being down here, but last year the very best quarter for this Dutch team was the second quarter. That's when they really started to turn things on, as they showed how much depth they had. They could really pester teams on defense. We'll see how this second quarter goes here.
Yeah, and last season Hope averaged 80 points per game, so not really on track for that right now, but it'll be interesting to see if, like you said, they turn that up in this second quarter.
The intensity a bit more here for the defense. Skip pass all the way across, now driving. Gaddy steps up, forces the quick jumper, but once again, it's good. And there's just no stopping Maggie Danzer right now. She's getting by her initial defender every time.
Yeah, and that help defense is just a half a step slow. Dan's already had her move set out and had time to execute it before the help defense was even set.
And again, Hope tries to force one inside. And right now, Wheaton just sagging off. I think they're going to make Hope try and shoot from outside. There's another bucket right there. And Kyler gets it to go. It's a 9-point lead for the Dutch. Hate to say you got to take a timeout. You're not even a minute into the quarter, but Wheaton's doing everything right, and Hope's just about the opposite. Top of the key. Let's see if Traversa takes one. She does and gets it to go. As I mentioned, I think they're going to have to start getting the outside shot to go, because Wheaton's really sagging in the paint and making it difficult to get the ball inside. And that'll open up that inside offense a little bit. You've got to do it. Gears look for the steal there. Almost got a tip on it. Going inside, Buchanan went too early, got by. Lucky Smith was there to help poke that away. Out on the wing now, Kyler wide open, will take the 3 from the corner. That one hopped out, it wouldn't go. Buchanan, strong rebound, finally able to rip it down. And Gaddy up the floor. Launch, Traversa gets it to go again. And we've seen some pretty amazing performances from beyond the arc from Traversa before. Set a single game 3-point shooting record. Backdoor, good pass to Kyler, missed the layup, own rebound, and she gets that one to go. It's just too easy getting to the rim right now for Wheaton. I want to go back to Traversa, who's got a couple threes now. Brittany Berry sitting on the bench on the coaching staff for Hope this year. It was her record that was broken by Traversa last year for threes in a single game. I believe she had 8, if I remember right. And Buchanan can't get that one to go.
And Hope's defense is just not there today. Everything's slow. They're standing when the ball gets passed around the arc when it's not on their side. The help defense is slow. And this team, normally defense wins games for them. That's how they get their fast breaks. That's how they get their balls up the court. So in order for Hope to turn this around, they're really going to have to turn around their defense.
So at the line here, first one off the back iron, and no good. Plenty of subs coming in here. Still got one more shot for Kelly Thornton at the line. There's Allison Hedrick, senior, into the game. There's King back in again. For Wheaton right now, it's Dansdill, Kyler, Meacham, Thornton, and Berg. And that one able to drop, so it's a 27-19 lead. Dutch trail by 8. Gaddy steps into a long 2. This one well off the mark. Traversa battling for a rebound and a quick jump ball call. It's going to stay with the Dutch. Traversa doing work all over the place. Couple threes now, fighting for a tough rebound.
That's what they're going to have to do, though. If they're going to shoot from outside, they're going to be able to crash the boards.
Inadvertent buzzer there. They'll play on. King, top of the key now, the freshman. Trying to get things going. Buchanan turns around, in and out, rolled around again, still wouldn't go. This one was poked out. Gaddy hustling, and I think that last went off. And indeed, that will be the call, Kelly Lawson. So great hustle there from Gaddy to keep the ball with the Dutch. Communication from our officials on that side worked out well, and I think they got that one right. So Edrick now to inbound. Gets it for Traversa. That's a deep 3, but she's not going to miss it. It's unbelievable. That's 3 in a row. She can get the crowd on their feet here. Traversa's 3 for 3 from downtown. She's got 9 points. And Wheaton's going to be forced to come out on her now, see if it opens up the inside. Wide open look from the corner. That's knocked down. Kelly Thornton gets it to go, and Hope starts to get the offense going, but they got to get the defense going as well. Wheaton's getting wide open shots left and right, this time from deep. We've seen them get to the basket, and defense just not moving quick enough. Hedrick went inside, and Buchanan really hasn't been on the same page with their guards and forwards trying to get passes to, inside the paint to her so far today. They're seeing her try to get that leverage, get that ball away from the defender a little bit, but that's 3 or 4 times already. We've seen possessions wasted trying to get the ball inside.
Yeah, and it's hard because Kyler is such a great defender, so it'd be kind of interesting to see if Traverse is really hot from the outside, but to stick her in the middle, she's got a little bit of a height advantage, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe she starts taking advantage of her height in the middle.
Lawson couldn't get that to go, and Hope fortunate they're only down 8. Wheaton's missed 7 or 8 layups already. Looks that should probably go. Here's King, goes inside, and Schwark being defended tightly by Kyler. King's gonna throw up a deep 3. This one won't go. Hedrick with the offensive board and gets it to go. And King bailed out there. She took a very deep 3, and we know King is a player that can knock down 3s. And this one just too easy, and a foul. Katie McDaniels, and if you're Coach Morehouse, you've got to be furious. Where is the defense there? She walked in, didn't even make a move, just went straight to the basket.
And then 4 girls turned their heads.
Yep, and got just a love tap on the arm, barely flicked. Got the layup to go, and chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Here's McDaniels to finish it off, gets it to go. 33-24 the lead for the Thunder. It's 9 points. Here's Gaddy up the floor. Hedrick, left wing, now up top for Schwark. Trying to go inside for Schwark again. Kyler keeps going over the top and poking it away. She's using that height inside here, and it's taken away. The Dutch just don't have any answer. Kyler is just too dominant of a defender inside. They cannot get the basketball, and they've got to try some different looks. You got to mix up some pass fakes, go up top, get a bounce pass in. She's reaching over the top, getting those steals. 3 from the wing. This one no good. Board from Traversa. She keeps going over top, poking it away.
Yeah.
Give it a pass fake and drop a bounce pass in. Work on some different ways to get it inside. Gaddy, that was just ill-advised, taking it underneath the basket there. She had nowhere to go. And another turnover now, already the 8th for the Dutch. Great hustle from Gaddy to tip this one away. Perkins checking back into the game. 9 turnovers now after that, excuse me. And tough to come up with a win. You still got 5 minutes left to play in the first. And, or excuse me, in the second quarter, and you've already got 9 turnovers. Most of them certainly very avoidable turnovers, less due to the effort of Wheaton and more just to the lack of focus from this Hope team. It's tough coming out in the first game. And right now, just Wheaton seems to be the team a bit more prepared.
Yeah, but it's also the little things. Like defense is a little thing that you can work on right away. Like you said, those pass attempts. Hope's been so predictable on how they're going to pass it into the post.
And right there, McDaniel showing why she's Wheaton's leading scorer last year, returning. And now under 5 left. Wheaton's built an 11-point lead. And for Hope College Flying Dutch fans, this is not a familiar look. Gaddy with a strong drive, gonna get the body. She was blocked by Kyler, but nice call by the official up top to see she was certainly being leaned into. And the hold is just the first foul called on Wheaton here in the quarter. Of course, last year things changing for women's basketball, going to quarters. Rather than traditional bonus, it's just 5 fouls in any quarter is an automatic double bonus, so 2 free throws. So teams have to be careful. 5 fouls immediately sending you to the line. The other team's the line for 2. Gaddy trying to complete the pair, gets that one to go as well. And back to single digits, the Dutch down 9. Here's Katie McDaniels. Daniels up top. Out onto the wing now. We're gonna get a foul up top on Traversa as Kelly Lawson was headed to the basket. Schwark was trying to set up there for the charge.
Yeah, their help defense looked a little bit better. Hope's talking a little bit more on offense, but Traversa probably didn't know for historically in this game hasn't really been there as a help option. So, but looks like Hope's really trying to work on that.
Ball into McDaniels. Top of the key, she's got a wide open look, and she knocks it down. You can't just leave a shooter like that, a scorer that open. You step under a screen like that. She's so quick off the dribble, you almost feel like you have to, and nobody recovered. She stood there and waited a full second. Said, well, I guess I'll take this. She knocks it down, a 12-point lead for the Thunder. So far, no answer for the Dutch. Gaddy from the wing, that one's short. Rebounded by Dansdale. Here's Kyler bringing it up the floor, the big center up top, and that could have been a steal opportunity. McDaniel's going all the way down the lane. And I can tell you what, right now, Carly, I think I could score right now.
Yeah.
This Hope defenses, they just got their heads turned. It's not about ability. McDaniel's is just going straight to the basket, and nobody's looking to step up and help. She gets by the primary defender just about every time. And if you're not ready to step up and help, you're not going to win this basketball game. Wheaton out to a 40-26 lead. Just being dominant right now, no other way to put it. Hope defense pretty much non-existent. They've already given up 40 points in the first half. There were games where they didn't give up 40 in the entire game last year. Well, there were a lot of games they didn't give up 40 in the entire game. Wheaton showing some offensive prowess so far, and largely in part to Katie McDaniels, who's 6 for 10 from the field, 14 points. Knocked down the three, the only one she saw and took. Other than that, she's just getting to the rack, easy layups. And Hope's really got to step up and try and find a way to combat that right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll give it to you. If you're missing a couple shots and you're finding the shots that they go in, I'll give it to you. It's the first game. Those are hard to drop down, first game-like situation. But it's the little things, like you said, turning your head. Like Hope's defense is more worried about where their player is than where the ball is. And the ball is the most important thing out there. So you got to know who has the ball, and if the girl who's guarding the ball is lagging a little bit, you got to be able to pick it up and trust that your teammates are going to be there for help. So I think if Hope's defense starts clicking and working together, this game is going to be a completely different one.
So a 14-point deficit for the Dutch out of the timeout here. Just a few minutes left before half. Be big for Hope just to get a few buckets and, more importantly, a few stops on the defensive end. Carry some momentum going into the locker room, because right now it's all Wheaton. Perkins kicks it out of the wing. Here's Hedrick. Faked it, looked to drive, had it taken away. Another turnover. Here comes Lawson the other way. Nice up and under. It gets the layup to go. 42-26. Dutch just don't have an answer. And it's like they're in quicksand right now. One thing goes wrong, and it just keeps on going wrong. Perkins draws a foul there. Finally, something good. Maybe the Dutch need to get to the line if they want to try and come back in this game. They've got some size at the forward position with some speed, some players like Perkins that know how to drive and then can get to the line. I think they've got to do that a little bit more. Perkins gets the first free throw to go. Frankie Buchanan going to check back in. Take Schwark out.
And last season, Hope was about 67% from the free throw line, so not bad, but also could be improved on. So getting to the line isn't a bad option for them.
So a couple knocked down, back to within 14. But I keep saying it, doesn't matter how much they score. They keep giving up baskets on the other end. They got to come up with a stop. McDaniels goes right by Gaddy. The Gaddy recovers, knocked it away. From this angle, hard to imagine that kind of play when you see a player flail the arms. It's not a foul. Years halfway down, couldn't get it to go. Jump ball, Perkins able to come in and wrap up with Kyler, but he'll stay with Wheaton. Meacham checking into the game will take the place of Jordan Myroff.
Wheaton getting some fresh legs in before half.
So still 42-28. That's trailed by 14. Still looking to get a couple stops in a row on defense. Really haven't seen it yet. Drive inside. That one falls. And right there, a bucket. Dansdale gets her to go again. And Buchanan stepped up right there for Buchanan. You want to see her, I think, she got there finally. The help was quick enough. Want to see her set up, try and take a charge. She would have gotten one. Dansdale was going in hard. And missed shot from Perkins, rebounded by Wheaton. Here comes McDaniels the other way. Thought she might have gotten away with a carry. Goes out to the wing. Three is good, and they can't miss. Dansdale having a night as well. Getting the big three to go. Another timeout from Coach Morehouse, and I got to imagine that he's pretty furious here. It's a 19-point lead for Wheaton. And right now, I'm not really sure what to say. If it's one thing, it's easy to analyze it, look at it, and say you need to fix it. But it's not one thing. It's a number of things right now for the Dutch. And one of them being Wheaton's obviously showing they're a very good basketball team. Have to give them their credit. It's not just mistakes being made by Hope. Hope does have 10 turnovers already, and a lot of them unforced. But look at Wheaton. They're shooting almost 60% from the field. They're 5 of 7 for 3. So really not much you can do. Hope shooting 4 for 9 from 3. A really good percentage for a team. But you're being out-dueled right now. And really tough to find an answer right now. Wheaton showing that they're a team to be reckoned with. Maybe they felt they were a bit underranked in the 21 spot.
Yeah, and they're showing it.
And they definitely are. Coming into DeVos Fieldhouse, one of the tougher places to come get a win in Division III college basketball. And completely dominating so far in this first half. 2 minutes left. If Hope can't get a few buckets and a few stops to make things look a little bit better going to their locker room, it's going to be really difficult for them to come back. You can play a great half in the second half, but going in down by around 20, it almost doesn't matter. It's such a big deficit. Traversa, 3 for 3 from 3, given no space this time. Going inside, Buchanan steps back, left it short. Gears gets the rebound off the glass, gets it to go. That's a big break the Dutch needed. Right? You could tell there, but Frankie just left that a little shy.
But great job. Hope had four players around the basket that time ready for that rebound, and that's the first time they've had more than one person around the basket to get that rebound.
Inside, that's a miss. Rebounded by Perkins. 17-point game. See if the Dutch can cut it a little closer. Perkins going to drive, slip through, get the layup to go. She's just so quick on her feet. You can see her eyeing it up. She wants to set it up, but I don't think there's anything that Wheaton can do about it. She's just so quick that that crossover slices through the defense. Buchanan and Traversa double team down low. We're going to see a foul up top from Gears on the wing. And she doesn't like it right there. That's just going to reset the shot clock. It's going to give Wheaton a chance to cut the remaining time down in half. Hope gets it down from 19 to 15. And this is what I meant. You know, if they wanted to have a chance, any kind of belief going to the locker room, a few buckets, few stops heading into halftime can do that for you. We'll see if they can come up with one here. McDaniels is the one you need to stop. She gets by Gaddy. Pass fake goes inside, gets the layup. And Gaddy just can't keep McDaniels in front of her. There's no other way about it right now. She's getting beaten to the right side every single time. She hasn't gone left against her. But a good drive. Gaddy couldn't be stopped either, but she missed the layup. We're going to see a foul called on Hope. This one's going to go against Traversa. And boy, just when you think things start turning in the direction of the Dutch, like that, you get a quick bucket, you get a missed layup, and you get a foul call going for the rebound. And it's back to a 17-point lead for the Thunder. 48.5 seconds to go before the half. And that being the 5th foul against the Dutch. We're going to see 2 free throws coming up here.
And that's Traversa's 3rd foul, so that's one girl that you don't really want in foul trouble. Really great 3-point shooter. But we just saw right there that both teams are relying on their height for that rebound. No one's really boxing out. So if she had boxed out, I don't think that call would have gone in the way that it did. But since she didn't, then they're relying on their height. They're going to get that call every time.
You're absolutely right, as Lawson. It's the first free throw. Players with height watching the shot go up, staring. Can't be watching the shot like that. Can't be watching it hit the rim. Second one for Lawson, good as well. You've got to find a body and box them out, and I guarantee you it's neither team doing that. You mentioned that. Either team decides to turn that on in the second half.
Yeah.
Even Hope, if they've got a 20-point deficit, they can win this ball game. And there's a foul called here. They're starting to pick it up a little bit here. Thornton going to be calling the foul. They're pretty loose in the first quarter, the start of the second quarter, and it seems just like that. We've seen 5 or 6 fouls called within these last couple minutes. Gaddy to inbound. Got to get it in. Lobs all the way up top. It's short. Perkins comes up with it. She'll drive, kick out, Gears in the corner, skipped up top. Gaddy lost it initially. And the Dutch don't want to take too much time here. You'd like to see him get a quick 2-for-1. Buchanan goes up and under, a good finish. And now Wheaton can hold for the last shot. They've got a 15-point lead. Up top, wide open underneath, and Gaddy sneaks in for the block. And thank goodness for the Dutch she did, as once again, the Dutch just lose someone in the paint for the Thunder, standing there wide open for the layup. And they're a shot fake away from going down another 2.
And Perkins. I mean, great effort by Gaddy, but that's not what you want. You want the help defense to be there in the first place.
Gaddy might have gotten away with a foul that time. And once again, wide open layup try. And it was Lawson And these are just way too good of looks. It doesn't matter what the Thunder do. It seems like they're just going to get high-quality looks on every possession. Down in the corner now. Remhorst turns. That's a foul. Buchanan's got to be smarter than that. She had Brentforce forced into a tough shot, turning, tossing up with the left, and just swatted the arm down across there. And you got to be more careful. Keep the hands up there. That's helping out the Thunder in a lot of different ways. That's going to send Bremhorst to the line.
Yeah, you said earlier, Hope has started on this uphill climb, but there's just little things like this, little things like fouls and missed shots, but mostly the fouls that are really halting their progress.
Second one is good. Splits the pair there, Bremhorst. 9 seconds left. Cheeky's got to get it up the floor here, taking a little bit of time. 34-52, it's an 18-point deficit. A great feed inside to finish off the half for Buchanan. She's fired up, but that still just gets it down to a 16-point deficit. It's 52-36 lead. Excuse me, 18 there. Nope, 16, I can't count. 52-36.
Math is hard, it's okay.
Took a second to have the scoreboard change. I wasn't sure if my live stats were right or if my scoreboard was right. And indeed, it's a 52-36 lead for Wheaton. And in a moment, we got some highlights from the first half to show you guys during halftime. We got 15 minutes till we start the next half. But very quickly, what did we see in the first half there from each team? Quick summary from you, Carly.
I mean, I think Wheaton came out to play, and it's as simple as that, and Hope didn't. We saw very early on that Kyler really started out for Wheaton playing that really great defense on Hope's bigs that I'm sure Hope thought they were going to be able to take advantage of and really use those as their assets. But Kyler really got it going, get those fast breaks going, and Wheaton just has those backdoor cuts really working out, just really cutting with a purpose. And Hope has really struggled with their help defense and really just lagging on offense, kind of slowing things down and forcing it into the middle and just not really finding those key passes that they really need. So moral of the story, Wheaton came to play, and Hope is shocked by the aggressiveness that Wheaton came out.
We'll see what Hope does in the locker room, what kind of adjustments they make to try and make this a close game in the second half. And Wheaton did a lot of good things. They shot about 55% from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, the same mark from the free throw line. Big difference, Hope had 10 turnovers compared to Wheaton, just 5 in the first half. Excellent controlling the basketball. And Dansville had 13, McDaniel 16. Traversa led the way with 9, and Buchanan had 8 for the Dutch. So we'll be back. I'm Blaine Wiersbicki, Carly Van Swoel. Second half action coming up, about 13 and a half minutes. And just a reminder, this broadcast brought to you by Lawrence Vanderswart Financial Opportunities in West Michigan for over 60 years. We'll be back second half after this.
Boy, with 4 seconds left in this contest, down by 3.
Fellas, that's a great effort to get back where we are. Now, looks like we got 4 seconds. We got to have a 3. It can't be a 2. We're down 3. And here's what we're going to do. Judge, you're going to make this and we'll win the game in overtime.
statistics for the first half, the Thunder shot 55%, the Flying Dutch 44%. Thunder out-rebounded Hope 21-14. Turnovers are 10 for Hope and 5 for the Thunder. Leading the way for the Thunder in scoring tonight, Katie McDaniels with 16, Maggie Dansdale with 13. For the Flying Dutch, leading the way,
I like that
Nancy
idea
Traversa,
of
9 points
showing
on
them.
3 threes.
It just doesn't work.
And 8
We're
points
gonna start.
for
We're gonna try to
Francesca
find a way to
Buchanan.
not tonight, but use the
Yeah.
wireless.
Score
And that person will go
52-36
over there.
Thunder.
Cool.
Also, when I can't go because of this.
Yep.
So
There is a shoulder thing that we can let you guys, you know, like for future games. If it works better.
yeah, it might be easier than maybe to follow the ball on the way
Yeah.
up.
It's just.
But it just when we're close like that, the shot you
It's
lose
hard.
it. Yeah. I mean, but I can keep trying to get it.
Yeah.
If that's,
You can just keep adjusting that around. You know, this loosens and all that,
Yeah,
just to make it most comfortable for you.
If this handle needs to be down further, you can run it more like that. Or
Perfect.
Whatever works.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
yeah, I think that hole is right back there somewhere.
Lawrence and Vandersmore Financial Planning is lending a helping hand to Hope College student athletes this basketball season. Every time either our men's or women's team reaches 15 assists for any game at the Ross Fieldhouse, Lawrence and Vandersmore will donate $75 to Athletes Community Together Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Again, we thank our friends at Lawrence and Vandersmore for their continued support of Hope College athletics.
right. Welcome back. We're just about ready to get going here for second half action. Both teams on the floor. And of course, a 52-36 lead for Wheaton, the story of the first half. Saw twice as many turnovers from the Dutch as we saw from the Thunder, but the Dutch will start off with the basketball. We'll see what kind of adjustments they made in the halftime locker room. Once again, I'm Blaine Picky, joined by Carly Van Swoel. Inside right away, Buchanan denied. She'll try and go again. Reverse, how'd she get that one to go? It looked like it was going to be taken away, and I'm glad they didn't call the quick jump ball. We saw in the first half, called the jump ball after about a half a second. That time they let him play a bit. Here's Kyler going inside. McDaniels couldn't get the layup to go, and that time the defense was a little bit better. Here come the Dutch. Quick pass up to Gears, who'll get it up, and she misses the layup, and Kyler's there for the rebound.
Yeah, Gears missed the layup, but that's the kind of offense that we have seen historically in Hope basketball.
Here's the steal from Gears. Smith going to go inside right at Kyler, and the block's going to be called as Kyler was inside the charge circle. And because Smith went to the floor, the proper call made. Nice job from our officiating crew so far this evening. And really paying attention to the details. So Hope trying to claw back into this one to start off the second half. First one good. And Tyra Smith now on the board with her first point. Second one good as well. Tyra Smith, the junior from Grand Rapids Christian, same high school as Paris Madison, and our own Carly Van Swoel right here beside me.
Go Eagles.
Just 12 points now. Being more pestering on defense. High pass, McDaniel's able to get it down. She'll spin, now pass inside. That one won't go, tipped out. And a fresh shot clock here for the Thunder. Daniels going inside. Traversa there, good defense. And the Dutch turned down another gear to start off the half. I have no doubt that Coach Moe lit into him a little bit during halftime. And there's a two. Gaddy down to 10 points, just like that. Dutch start things off on a hot streak, and that's going to be a timeout from Kent Madsen, head coach of the Wheaton Thunder. Does not like the way things are going right away. But on the other hand, the home crowd here in DeVos loving it.
Yeah, Coach Mo's got to be happy with that start. That's exactly what he wanted, to come out with a little bit more fire, more aggressiveness on both the defense and offensive end. You saw the help defense was there. Traversa was there for the rebound, and they're running the court a lot more than they were. And on offense, they're really looking for each other, and they're on the rebounds for those second chances, which are going to be huge for them to come back in this game.
And towards the end of the first half there, we saw the lead get up to 19. Looked like Wheaton was going to start pulling away, get into a 20-plus point lead. Hope able to get a few buckets, a solid finish to the first half, get it down to 16. And now 3 baskets in a row, and just like that, it's 10 points, and Hope's right back in this ballgame. So here we go. It's McDaniels trying to drive, kicks out, and it's knocked down. The defense has really picked it up here. Gears on the fast break. We'll see if she takes it. Instead, she looked to pull out, didn't realize the defender was in behind. Kelly Lawson poked it away. And Hope will stay with the basketball. Inbounded to Gaddy out on the wing. Traversa wanted a foul there, had a little contact. Gears. Inside, great look for Buchanan, gets the finish. 8-point ball game, 8-0 run to start the second half. Wheaton yet to find the basket here.
And Hope does really well when their bigs are active down low, when they're moving around and not just standing still, posting up.
Rebound for Traversa, and looked like a chance for Danzel to get another bucket there. Stop, great pass from Gaddy going inside. Buchanan's fouled, she can't get it to go. And Buchanan, a very passionate player. You could see her fired up after a rebound and a bucket toward the end of the half, even with her team down by 18 at the time. Definitely a team that can fire up the rest of her teammates. And now to the line for 2. First one's good. And boy, the Dutch are really making things interesting now. Dan's still going to get a chance to take a rest. Jordan Myroff back into the game. Buchanan now step in the line to try and knock down the pair. Gets that one to go as well. It's a 6-point game. From 16 to 6, just like that. Stepping out here, playing very aggressive defense. Inside, Gears underneath. They go out to McDaniels. Defense rotating so much quicker in this half and keeping McDaniels from open layup opportunities. Cut inside, long two. There's Wheaton's basket they needed. First of the half. Lead back on up to 8.
Just looks like Hope's team kind of woke up from a slumber, like they were sleepwalking in the first half, and now they woke up and they're ready to play.
Out on the wing, Gears, defended by McDaniels. Smith wide open, top of the key, gets it to go. Big time. The Dutch can't seem to miss right now. And the way their defense is fired up, wouldn't be surprised to see them try and tie this game a few possessions down the road. But there's Kyler wide open as soon as I say that. That's something we saw regularly in the first half, lapses in defense. How do you let the 6'2 center stand all alone underneath the basket? And right there, a rejection from Kyler on the other end. Wheaton looking to push, but a pass off the mark. Tipped by Hope, it'll stay with the Thunder. Schwartz gonna check in here, take Buchanan's spot. It's a 7-point ball game. Perkins in as well, will take the spot of Maddie Gears.
And if Hope can keep up this intensity with their subs, they're going to be really dangerous later on because, as we've said time and time again, they're so deep. So sooner or later, they're just going to wear out the other team with all the subs and the depth that they have.
McDaniel on the wing is going to get by. Schwartz there to help. She floats it over top, though. Nice job by McDaniels there. Just to get it to go off the glass. She missed a few of those in the first half. Lead back up to 9 for the Thunder. Out on the wing. Smith hit a 3 earlier. This time will drive, gets inside, gets it to go. Nice drive. 58-51 Thunder lead. McDaniels loses her dribble, top of the key. Now she'll cut. She's going to be open going to the basket. She gets it to go. And right there, she's trying to jump out and play McDaniels after she loses the dribble, but then you run right by her and you allow her just to walk to the basket. And the Hope side defense just hasn't been looking up quick enough so far in this game for Hope. She, once again, walks right in and Kyler pokes it away. She's been doing that all night. Daniels kicks into the corner. Now driving, Lawson goes inside, pass off the mark. There's a turnover. Going back over to Hope, and now some frustration in this half from Coach Madsen of the Thunder. Tables have turned a bit. Almost halfway through this third quarter. I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels like these games move quicker when you're playing quarters instead of halves.
Oh, yeah.
You just get that break, you feel a little closer. Traversa, shot fake, able to get inside, puts it up, and the foul. What a finish just outside the paint, and she went over the top off the glass. That's a tough one to have enough touch to keep from banking too hard off the glass and missing. Huge chance for an old-fashioned three-point play here. Manny Traversa in double digits now with 11. That's her first two-point basket. 3 of 3 from 3 in the first half. Free throws good as well. She now has 12 points, back to a 6-point deficit. The momentum has been all Dutch in this half so far. Daniels gets right by Gaddy again. Kicked out though. Traversa going to step up, try to drive inside. There was Jordan Myra. Now the corner going in, stepping around. Off glass wouldn't go. Hedrick with the rebound, and that's another example right there. Height got the Dutch the rebound. They're fortunate. Nobody's boxing out. You got to turn and find a body there. Lucky didn't get an over and a back look right there. Perkins, nice drive, left hand, gets it to go. The action is really picking up. We're ready for a high-scoring game here. One basket after another. The Dutch out firing. 4-point game. This is as close as it's been, and the foul going to be called here on Gaddy. She certainly didn't like it. Looked like she was leaning the forearm a little bit there on McDaniels.
Yeah, but with these last couple drives, we've seen the best Hope College basketball rotation that we've seen in this game. They've done a really great job on that help defense. We saw Traversa right there stop that drive and force it back out. So a huge improvement from the first half as far as that goes.
Fresh shot clock. McDaniels will inbound up top to Lawson. Now back to McDaniels. Being defended now by Madsen. Out top. Perkins defending. Got to be careful to keep those hands out, and does. Into the corner. 3 ball off the mark. Rebounded. Madison coming the other way. Looking to push here. Wheaton does have numbers back on defense. Hedrick inside looking for Buchanan, who goes up. And Hope players seem almost certain that went off of Wheaton. Madison and Buchanan, with the official on that end, ruined the ball to Wheaton. Really couldn't tell from over here. But boy, those Hope players really seemed adamant. They thought it should have been their basketball. But nonetheless, here come the Thunder. McDaniels looking to get by Madison, does, and another easy layup. She's just too difficult to contain. Nobody can do it on their own, and that's why the help side defense needs to be better prepared for the Dutch. Back to a 6-point game.
And Wheaton moves to a zone.
Yeah, up to the 2-3 now. See how the Dutch go into this. Frankie, deep two, gets it to go. That's one way to beat it.
Yeah.
They're trying to slow down that inside attack, forcing the Dutch to shoot. And when you've got your big that can step out, hit a 15-footer from the baseline, that's going to help. Ball's lost here, going to the floor. That's going to be a jump ball. Schwartz gets on top of it. The Dutch started this half with the ball, so it'll stay with the Thunder. Traversa to check in for the Dutch. And Maggie Dansdale in for the Thunder. McDaniels handling the inbounds plays under the basket for the Thunder. Hope's been communicating better on defense this half and certainly hustling more. They get it in quickly. Buchanan oversteps. Foul's going to be called on Buchanan. For Buchanan now, that's picks up another foul. And that's 2 now for her. Get it into the corner. Thornton. Hope defense, playing team defense, stepping up, helping out right now. Up top, looking inside now. Look on the wing. Comes up short, offensive rebound underneath though. Dansdale gets it to go. Dansdale's been doing a little bit of everything so far tonight. Now from the corner, that one wouldn't go, and the Dutch finally get a rebound. Perkins wants to run. Now we'll pull up short.
Wheaton did a great job in that last one as far as ball rotation and getting those second chances.
Traversa, how does she keep making these shots? And I want to say right there, she was fouled on that foul through. She got whacked on the forearm. They didn't call it. She got the 3 to go anyways. But the fact of the matter is she still made that shot even though her forearm was clearly pushed it. Now a steal. Madison tips it. And a chance for the Dutch to take the lead for the first time. They trail 62-61. Perkins going inside, forces up a tough shot. That's not a good look. Buchanan's there for the rebound though. Spins out and she gives it away to McDaniels. Had 3 open players. McDaniels just going to outrun Madison here. But now loses it and still gets the layup to go. Seems like McDaniels just can do no wrong.
And interesting because Paris Madison's one of the fastest people I know, so to be beating up the court is something else.
And McDaniels certainly showing off some speed. Madison trying to get to the bucket. Perfect pass inside. Buchanan couldn't handle it. She's going to get fouled. Count the basket. She is fired up now, showing some passion. Gets the 3-point play opportunity and turns out for the Dutch to be a good thing she couldn't handle the pass initially. And she gets the foul. And now she's getting a word from the official as she's waiting to go to the free throw line. Not sure if that was about that or could have been about an earlier call that we saw called, and she had a little bit of a look of disbelief. Maybe just an explanation from the official. Didn't seem like anything too drastic.
Yeah, nothing too serious.
Chance for the tie. Buchanan at the line. Gets it to go. DeVos is fired up here. 64 all. The Dutch trailed by 16 at the half, and here in the third quarter, over 2 minutes left, the crowd coming to their feet. President Knapp and his wife, Kelly, here cheering on the team. Up to their feet there for a moment. 2 minutes left in the third. Offensive foul is going to be called. And it looks like they're going to get Jill Berg. And now the Dutch are going to get it back, and they've got a chance to take the lead. This one's tied up, just under 2 to go. And these 2 halves have been completely opposite. The Dutch have really turned things on and really improved their hustle on the defensive end and communication. I think that's been the key for them. Madison, tough drive, didn't have the angle. Schwartz tips it out. Gears has a wide open look. She knocks it down.
And now Hope's shots just look so smooth. Like they know they're going in right away.
Shooting over 50% from the field now as a team. Over 50% from the 3-point line as well. Out into the corner. Daniels look to cut. Top of the key. Madison's got to step out. She's going to take that. She does. This time she misses. Madison lucky there. Didn't really step out to get in her face, but nonetheless misses. And now here come the Dutch with the lead. Madison can break some ankles with some of the moves she's got. Gears, pass fake going inside. You can see it coming, but she still gets it to go through all the help. Great body control to get the bucket. It's a 4-point lead for the Dutch. And that's going to force another timeout from Coach Madsen. Wheaton Thunder have got to get things figured out here, as they've only been able to score 12 points in this half. The Dutch, who trailed by 16, now lead by 4, just over a minute left.
And Gears, we saw right there to help increase the lead. Hope Gears is one of those sneaky players that it does really well off the bench, just comes off really well and knows her place, and she rebounds. She's super scrappy, and we see it right here. Buchanan really turning up in this second half, really finding her position as a big and really settling into her role for this team.
Yeah, we saw Traversa hit the 3, then Buchanan get the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Traversa is 4 for 4 from 3, and 5 for 5 overall from field, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. She has not missed a shot yet, 15 points and 5 boards.
But I mean, props to McDaniels for Wheaton. She has not slowed up and has continued to press on for her team and show that she's arguably one of the best players out here, if not the best player.
24 points on the night for McDaniels, 6 assists as well. Right there, a nice move to get inside, but couldn't finish. Battle for the rebound, Schwartz there, but instead it's won by Maggie Dansdale. This one gonna stay with Wheaton. Dansdale's got 4 boards, 13 points, has done a lot of good things for the Thunder. She's second for Wheaton in scoring. Buchanan with 19, 15 for Traversa. Top of the key, wide open. She couldn't get it to go, and I just don't know how you can allow that. That's a couple times we've seen way too good of looks from three-point line from someone we know can score. The Dutch are bailed out there.
Yeah, it seems like the Dutch are more worried about the drive than the three-point.
And that's understandable, the way she's been able to get by defenders. Forced her to make that look. She's 1 for 3 now from 3. Made the first one. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Madsen, step back. Too long. Tipped out. Chance for the rebound for Schwartz, but had it knocked away. Last shot for the Thunder if they want it. But they're down 4. Don't see why you don't just attack the basket here. McDaniels inside. Kyler wide open. Gets fouled. And that's not a bad foul. She had an easy 2, but how many times have we seen it where you let the biggest player on the floor, standing at 6'2", Devin Kyler, able to just walk to the basket on a roll or a slip or a backdoor cut and just stand there wide open, an open layup. That's the first time they were able to get a foul on and keep her from the easy layup.
But that's one of the first times that we've seen that in the second half. In the first half, they really took advantage of that, and Hope really lost track of Kyler, but Kyler hasn't really been a huge difference maker in the second half, which is kind of surprising for how big of a asset she was used in the first half. So we'll see if they use Kyler to try to bring this game back in their favor.
Kyler splits the pair, so definitely a good foul. 11 seconds now for the Dutch. Madsen's going to let it roll up the floor a bit. Pick it up just before the half-court line. To the wing. Step back from Schwartz. Oh, my goodness. That's not a shot you expect to see. And Madison tried to save it. And 0.3 seconds left. Hope's going to have to get back here on defense. Can't allow Wheaton to get a quick shot on 0.3. It's basically going to have to be a tip. And with 0.3, it has to be a tip. So you're not getting a shot there. So big time third quarter for Flying Dutch, says our PA man, Thomas Davilar. And indeed it was. They came into this third quarter trailing by 16, now lead by 3. What an incredible effort. We certainly saw some different things from the Dutch in this quarter.
Yeah, I think we saw a completely new Hope team than what we saw in the first half. The help defense has been one of the biggest things. Rebounding is still struggling. We're still trying to use our height to our advantage, be those baby birds down there by the basket trying to get the ball. But as far as help defense goes, yeah, they lag sometimes, but that has been a huge thing and has really helped kick up their offense and get those fast breaks moving. And Hope's really driven more off the wing, which has made Wheaton stay back a little bit, but then they've also taken advantage of that 3 ball and really moved the ball around. And really, we see on the scoreboard we have players who have 8, 8, 9, and 2, so really spreading the ball around, really spreading around the love and looking for each other, and finally in the second half working as a team.
Looking at a few of the plays that helped the Dutch get to this point in the third quarter, and from earlier, Traversa really just seems like she actually can't miss from 3. And continuing to show why she's been one of the best three-point shooters percentage-wise that Hope might ever see, breaking some records last year, starting right off hot. And in the third quarter, they take a 3-point lead, outscoring the Thunder by 19 in that quarter. And just an amazing turnaround. So it'll be Hope basketball to start here. Perkins will inbound. You got Gaddy back in. And you've got pretty close to a starting lineup, the exception being Perkins in. But in my opinion, Perkins is somebody who needs to see plenty of time on the floor, has the ability to get to the basket and score, provides you great defense, quickness, also a leader out there. You see her barking out signals on inbounds plays. Buchanan turns, blocked by Wells. Fights, gets her own rebound though, and she's gonna be fouled by Wells. And Wells isn't gonna love that foul, just one of those where you're fighting for it and you lean in a little bit too much. But that is her third foul, so keep an eye on that here. We've got almost an entire quarter left to play. Gaddy's got to get it in. That's when somebody's got to come up top there, and that's what Traversa did. Buchanan, she walked with it, no doubt about it. And right there, just turned and threw a couple defenders. A little bit reckless. You got to understand and be able to feel that defender there, and the help side comes over, looked to kick. Could have been an open shot for the Dutch. Frankie Buchanan, a player that's clearly got a lot of raw talent, but still developing, just a sophomore. And I think she's going to be a great player in her 4 years here at Hope. Almost a steal there for Gears. Tried cutting it off out instead on the wing. Thornton halfway through the shot clock now. Wheaton hasn't done a whole lot productively on this possession yet. Cutting to the basket. Perkins will try to get the charge, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Maggie Dansdale. And there wasn't a ton of contact, but the fact of the matter was Perkins set up in proper defensive position. She was outside of the circle, and there's contact from the offensive player. Coach Madsen not happy with the call, but nonetheless, it's going to go over to the Dutch. Trying to build on a 3-point lead, still no score, almost a minute in this fourth quarter, and we've got a steal here. Layup try for Dansdale, blocked from behind by Angelique Gaddy. What a huge play. We've seen 3 blocks already in this game from Gaddy, 2 big ones that have saved obvious baskets, and a jump ball as Perkins hustled in, and this one's going to stay with Wheaton.
And good hustle by both Getty and Perkins there to get that jump ball. So good team effort. You have someone going, but you also need a player fouling in order to get that rebound. So great job by Perkins.
Initially, it really didn't look like Gaddy would get there as they inbound to Kyler. Got inside, McDaniels misses the layup. Rebound, and that one's grabbed by Traversa, and it's tipped out by Wheaton, comes up with it. Hope possession, wow. That wasn't even necessarily a block from Traversa. She just kind of ate that basketball, reached up there, grabbed it, and there was no chance. And Traversa is such a dangerous player, too. A lot of weapons on this Hope team. So we talk about how well she can shoot the 3, but Traversa stands at 6 feet tall as well. She's a pretty tough matchup.
Yeah.
Trying to go inside. Good look out to the wing. Open look. Gaddy gets it to go. Big 3 there for the senior. And Angelique Gaddy, the former South Christian sailor, inside. And what do you know? Kyler all alone. And right there, Kyler's not going to hurt you at the 3-point line. Buchanan's stepping out furiously, trying to come up with a steal. With that big, you got to let her go out and get the ball on the wing. That's just fine. She's backdoor cuts. I haven't counted, but that's got to be 5 or 6 times she's had that easy layup off the backdoor cut. Buchanan got bumped into. A lot of contact, but play through. She couldn't get the shot to go.
Yeah, out of anyone on the court, you want Kyler the one shooting the 3.
In the corner, no good. Kyler gets the board. Traversa with the great contest, and Geeky steps in, gets the steal right there. She'll try and take McDaniels to the basket. That's got to be a blocking foul. She was not in position, and she was moving. Coach Madsen will not like that one again. But the difference there, she wasn't set up. She's still moving, and she still had horizontal movement. She was moving to her left a bit. So right there, you're going to see Gaddy over to the free throw line. First one will not go for Gaddy. And a couple subs. Schwartz coming in for the Dutch. Myroth coming in for the Thunder. Gaddy's got 11 points now. That was her first miss from the free throw line. She was 2 of 2 previously.
And for how much Hope has dominated in this fourth quarter, it is still only 71-67. So props to Wheaton for getting those backdoor cuts from Kyler, and McDaniel really still dominating on her end of the court. It's not like it's this huge blowout that Hope has suddenly turned the tables.
Traversa called for the foul there. That'll be her 4th. So tough spot for Mandy Traversa. And Wheaton will inbound. I mentioned before, great job by the officiating crew. There just have been a few times where I've wondered about certain crews let a little bit more of the hand stuff go, let a little bit more contact. And the only thing I've seen is sometimes it seems like they're letting them play, sometimes not so much. That can be difficult on a player playing defense to know exactly what they can get away with. But it seems like it can be different at times today. Inside, easy layup again. The basket cuts have been wonderful for the Thunder. Daniels gets it to go. Back to a 3-point game, 69 points now for the Thunder, 72 for the Dutch. Perkins swings back around. This is where Jiki hit that 3. That's off of the leg of Jordan Myroff. It'll be under the basket for the Dutch.
And right there, we just saw Hope's offense very stagnant. Like we've seen, what really pumped them up was their bigs moving a lot around in there, and their wings cutting with a purpose, getting through, and really opening up that middle for drives.
Inbound here to Hedrick. Now it's Schwark out on the wing, and Smith. Perkins looking to drive, kicks out for Gaddy. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They've got to get something going. Gaddy drives, gets through, and she throws it away. She thought she was bumped. Breakout here, layup chance is good. Jordan Myroff, it's a 1-point game. Shot clock winding down, the Dutch just didn't really seem to recognize it and just kind of stood there, took some time. Wheaton bench trying to get their team back into this. They're only down 1 point. Top of the key, drive to the left side. What a nice move, and it'll go. Wow, what a finish from Tyra Smith. The sidestep, rolls it up off the glass to go. Lead back to 3 for the Dutch. Looks like we're in store for a great finish here.
And that is your typical Tyra move. That's what she's been doing since she was a freshman in high school.
Daniels, top of the key, look to fire a shot. Instead, they'll go inside. Kyler back down into the corner. That one's tipped. Daniels now, Perkins defending. She'll have to drive here. Steps back, gets the roll. It just seems like there's no way to stop McDaniels now, who's got 28 points.
Yeah, McDaniel's really taking it on herself to keep this Wheaton team in.
Gaddy going inside for Hedrick. Hedrick will turn, go up, and Kyler's there. And got to recognize that double team dropping down. Kyler's just has too much reach, and that's got to be a walk. No call, though. Down in the corner, step back 3 will go. And just like that, the Thunder are back on top by 2. 76-74, lead for Wheaton. Come the Dutch the other way. Wheaton's really won these last few minutes, and now a steal from McDaniel. Hedrick can't catch up. And a timeout from Coach Morehouse. 5:07 left in this game. It's a 78-74 lead for the Thunder. And the Dutch look so good for the majority of this second half, and suddenly they just break down on offense, and they just give a couple turnovers top of the key, not making smart passes, and the Thunder taking advantage. Looking a little bit more like the first half here. There's an example of 1 steal. We've seen Maggie Dans do a lot of things, but right there is a great block by Angelique Gaddy.
Yeah, it looked like Hope just got comfortable, even though they were only winning at 1 point, 71-68. It's not a huge lead, or yeah, 71-68. It's not a huge lead, but they seemed like they were comfortable with that lead, and that's where Kyler and McDaniel really came in and took over for the Wheaton team. And those passing cuts are dangerous, and you got to have eyes and close defense on McDaniel at all times, whether that's face guarding McDaniel, because she's 30 points. She's definitely a huge difference maker, almost half their points, and got to keep an eye on her and can't lose track of her anyway, anyhow.
So just like that, it seemed like it was all Hope, and they were ready to ride off to victory in their first game this year. Thunder bounce right back, and they take the 4-point lead. 78-74, the Thunder on top. Hope with the basketball. Traversa on the bench right now with 4 fouls. Not a bad idea to save her for a late game if you need a 3. Perkins looking to feed. Buchanan inside, goes up on Kyler, gets it to go. That's a strong move. And I truly believe that Buchanan thinks that she can score on anybody in the paint. Right there, using her body to get down there. Traversa doing everything she can to avoid the 5th foul. Just kind of ran away from the play for a moment. Now they go inside. Dansdale cut. McDaniels misses that one. A break for the Dutch. Tried to get the rebound, and that one's taken away by Gears. Gears will cut in, has that one grabbed away. It's a foul. So Gears will go to line to shoot 2, a chance to tie this one up.
Fouls on Devin Kyler, her 4th.
Yeah, Kyler. Oh, claiming that the foul wasn't on Kyler because that's her 4th. Key player that Wheaton doesn't want to have 4.
Gears misses the first free throw.
Harris Madison re-enters for Hope.
Yeah.
And, Coach Manson and assistant coach Katie Cuthbert for the Thunder arguing that that foul was called on the wrong player, and I do believe they've got a case there. Second one's good, so it's a 1-point game. We'll see if that ends up having an effect. So here's McDaniels, under 4.5 to play.
And Hope switches to the 2-3 zone to switch things up on Wheaton.
Wheaton knows exactly what to do. They get it into the middle. Now they kick it out. Layup going in, no good. Cannon couldn't come up with the board. Now we're going to see a foul. And that's just another example we've seen throughout the entire game. I don't think I've seen anybody box out one single time underneath the basket. Just turn, try to jump up for it. If you put a body into the defender, you're going to get that rebound every time. And right there, just out-fought.
And especially in that 2-3 zone, you literally have 3 girls, 2 on the box and 1 in the middle. It's perfect placement to make that triangle and box out and make the space. So how does the one girl that's in the middle of that box get the rebound? It's just something that you don't want on a 2-3 zone.
That's a 5-second violation. Huge play. The Thunder couldn't get it in. Coach Morehouse thrilled with the defense there. With a 1-point deficit, the Dutch get the ball back. Forcing a 5-second violation. That's massive. What a great game we've got here to start off the women's Division III basketball season. Great drive. Perkins couldn't get the finish. Buchanan gets the offensive rebound. She wants to go up with it, instead kicks it out to Traversa. They go back inside. She spins, gets a friendly roll. She had her defender leaning and felt it right. That's her move. She spins and fades back and gets that short jumper. 1-point lead for the Dutch.
And Buchanan now at 23 points. Definitely feeling a little bit of that fire.
Way out top, looking to feed into the middle. The 2-3 zone looking stout for now for the Dutch. Wheaton's got to swing it to this side. They finally do. The Dutch can just settle into this half of the court. If they don't swing the ball over, this is what they need to do. Now over in the corner, 3 ball. That one misses. And that's a shot clock violation. That ball never hit the rim on the air ball. Possession was never grabbed. McDaniel saying she got it, but I'm pretty sure the buzzer had gone off. So the Dutch will be back with possession, a 79-78 lead. 3:21 left here in the fourth.
Looks like the big dispute now is whether or not McDaniel's shot hit the rim or not.
And initially I thought that was I thought it was an air ball, but obviously didn't have the best look. And it looks like they are going to turn things back over to Wheaton. So they'll get a fresh shot clock and possession. That's big in a 1-point game.
With 3:21 left to go.
And Coach Morehouse asking for an explanation on his end now. The officiating crew getting a lot of flack from both benches late on in the game. Some very close and controversial calls. So Gaddy will come in, take the place of Paris Madison. 3:21 left. And now another discussion from the official. I was going to say, if they give it back to the Dutch, Coach Ken Madsen would absolutely lose it.
Yeah.
3:21 left. Inbound try here. Daniels needs to get it in. Already had one 5-second call and wide open for a layup. Kelly Lawson catches an inbound pass under her own basket. No screen, nothing. Just not defended. Really stepping out here on Traversa. It's a 1-point lead for Wheaton now. Gears up top. Gaddy drives inside. Good drive with the left hand. Gets it to go. Back on top are the Dutch. 81-80. Under 3 to play. 2:55 left. Here's McDaniels. McDaniels is the kind of player that's made a difference so far. Already 30 points. That one up, and wow, what a bounce off the back iron. Drop straight down. Just going to say McDaniels is going to need to make some big plays.
And that's just too easy on a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Right into the middle. Nobody stopping, getting the shot off. And back and forth we go, 82-81, Wheaton on top. Traversa in, has Gears. Gears has a three look, she buries it, what a shot! Madison Gears and a timeout from Coach Morehouse. He wants a 30-second timeout. It's 84-82, the Dutch on top with 2:22 left. And Madison Gears, the junior, with a huge shot. She hit one earlier, she's 2 for 2 behind the line. She's got 13 points now. I mean, this is just a high-scoring game overall, so you're gonna see high scoring, but look at down the list for the Dutch. 13 for Gears, 15 Traversa, 23 Buchanan, 9 for Smith, 14 Gaddy. On the other side, it's the same story. It's 14 for Lawson, Dansdale with 15, Kyler with 11, and then McDaniels, of course, with 30 and 10 assists. So a double-double for McDaniels. You can't have a much better game to start the year. I understand she was the leading scorer for the team last year, but she averaged 17, not 30.
Yeah.
30 points to go along with 10 assists. The offense runs through her. She's either scoring or setting up someone to score. 2:22 left to play. 84-82, the Dutch lead.
And McDaniel's doing a great job of starting her senior year off right, coming in with 30 points. And after this game, she's got to be so proud of how she played.
So here we go, 2-point lead for the Dutch, 2:20 left. And no doubt, it's McDaniels to run the offense. Out to the wing now, Meacham. Top of the key, Lawson. Wheaton hasn't been able to move it down underneath the top of the key yet. Daniels going baseline, Buchanan was late to help. She ends up getting there, gets a tip on it, and that's a clean block from Buchanan. And here comes Hope up the floor. Looks like Jiki might go all the way, instead kicks it out to Perkins. She'll drive, what a drive and a finish, my goodness. Elizabeth Perkins gets it to go. It's a 4-point lead for the Dutch. DeVos is fired up, 1:45 left.
And what not a lot of people saw in that last play was Buchanan knocked McDaniels over and then helped her up during the middle of the play. So.
And once again, another, I don't want to say easy basket. McDaniel's a great player with a quick first step. She earns those open layups, but once again, another bucket. And she's got 32 now. You can count on her for the bucket. It's an 86-84 lead for the Dutch with 1:36 left. And that was a possession that was critical for Wheaton to score. Down by 4, just over a minute and a half. You got to get it to go because suddenly you could be given Hope the ball back with a 2-possession lead. Now you get it back to Hope, just a 2-point lead. You can get a stop, or even if they score, you still have enough time to try and win the ball game. So wow, what a great game. We saw Wheaton dominating in the first half, took a 16-point lead into halftime. And then Hope in the third quarter outscored Wheaton by 19 in just the third quarter to take a 3-point lead into the fourth. Fourth started hot for the Dutch as well, but then it was all Wheaton for a few minutes to get the lead back. And now late, the Dutch are able to get the lead back once again. This game has been incredible. And we've seen several lead changes now just in the past few possessions. It's been 1 or 2 points. An 86-84 lead for the Dutch. 1:36 left to play here from DeVos Fieldhouse.
And definitely a performance change for Hope in this second half. Yeah, they lagged a little bit at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but Coach Mo's got to be happy with this effort in the second half. They really threw away what they did in the first half and really came back and changed it. But props to Wheaton for coming back and staying strong. And this is a good Hope team, but this is a really great Wheaton team as well.
Let's see what Hope can do on the offensive end, and it's a steal right away. Dansdale going to tie up the ball game, and we've seen that too many times for the Dutch. It's just lazy offense. There's no other way to describe it. Dansdale's on the exact same thing 3 times in a row. 1:15 left. You can't just fire that pass up top without taking a look. Perkins going to drive. Good pass inside Buchanan. Hustles into the corner to keep it in. Tries to get out for Traversa, and here's a chance for McDaniels. She's going to have a wide open layup, and suddenly the Thunder have the lead. An absolute collapse from the Hope offense. And they just shut down for 2 possessions in a row. And now 50 seconds left. Wheaton leads Hope 88-86. The Dutch are in trouble if they don't score here. Perkins going to drive. She gets fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Some big time pressure free throws here. And Perkins, so difficult to stop driving to the rack. And I'd really like to see her do that more often even. Difficult player to keep in front, athletic, strong, and showing that she can drive, draw the foul there. And these will be huge. The Dutch down 2. And we'll see if Perkins can get them both to go.
Into the game for the Thunder, number 3, Jordan Myron.
And before the free throw, As you look at the steal right there from Maggie Dansdale, obviously recognizing something that the Dutch are doing on offense, because that was the third time Dansdale herself has jumped in at the top of the key for the steal. You just can't be so nonchalant about that on the offensive end for the Dutch. Big free throws here for Perkins. First one's good. My goodness, that looked like it was going to pop out. It hopped up to the top of the rim, dropped back in. 43.6 seconds left. Hope still trails one. Perkins can tie it here, and the Dutch will likely have the last shot. Second one drops down. That's a huge bounce. Had to go into golf commentator mode there. As DeVos Fieldhouse fell silent. You could hear a pin drop here. You could hear that clank off the back of the rim too, but it dropped straight down. And it's 88-88, 43.6 seconds left. Here comes McDaniels, and here come the Thunder. 38 seconds left. They'll have to get a shot off. Hope could have a chance for a last shot. Inside, stopped, good defense. They can't get a rebound though. Another offensive board, no good, and Schwartz pulls it down. 88 all. Angelique Gaddy will slow down. They can take the last shot. Back out to half court. We'll see what they go with. 15 seconds left. Isolation. They got to go now. Down to 11. 9 seconds. Gaddy gonna drive. Try and take it herself. She's stripped, and a charge is called on Gaddy. And I don't believe that was a charge. Nobody squared Gaddy up, but nonetheless, it was a clean defensive play. Gaddy just tried to force it there, and she got stopped. The Dutch could have had a much better look than that. 6.9 seconds left. Someone's got to step up. McDaniels. It's a tie ball game. 88 all. McDaniels goes to the rack. She's blocked clean by Gaddy, and Gaddy stepped out of bounds there. And we're going to go to overtime here. The Dutch are lucky. Gaddy blocked that, had possession, clearly out of bounds. I don't know if we can get another look at that or not. But 88 all, we're going to go to overtime. And the Dutch benefit from a missed call there. And talked early on about the officiating staff doing a great job. And never want to talk down. We know they're working hard, doing their best out there. But there's certainly been a few calls in the second half here that have just sort of made you question what the thought process may have been. Here's a look at the whole play. McDaniels drives into the right. Gaddy trails. Great block. And right there, you can see her on the ground. And maybe not from that angle as well. From here, you could definitely see from the side angle that she was standing about 2 feet out of bounds with the ball in her hands and then threw it back in. And I think the officials just thought, okay, block shot, we're done, we're going to overtime.
Right. But I mean, all the players stopped like she'd been out of bounds and the ball was called dead, so.
And then they were just standing there, didn't know what happened. Clock ran down. And we're headed to overtime and see if we can get another look. Here's from the side of that last play. Here's McDaniels again driving. There's the block right there. Tough to see again, but you see the feet go down, and from down on the floor, I can definitely tell you that's a pretty good look there. But I can definitely tell you from down on the floor, she absolutely was out. It wasn't even close. But the Dutch benefit there. They benefited from a few calls in that half. The Thunder benefited from a few calls in that half. So in the end, here we are. It ends up even, 88 all, going to overtime. Can't ask for a much better game here to start off the season from DeVos. Traversa, though, has 4 fouls, remember. And so you've got to be careful in here. Extra 5 minutes to play in overtime.
And Berg will come here and take the tip now that Kyler's on the bench with 5 fouls. So it'll be interesting to see if Kyler on the bench makes a difference.
Yeah, Kyler, of course, fouled out. And once again, sort of a lamely tipped ball, just like the beginning, but the Dutch come up with it. So we'll see if the Dutch can take advantage of the Star Center being out. And right away, they want to go inside to Buchanan. She's blocked cleanly. A nice strip from behind. Jill Berg showing that she can step in and fill those shoes. And right there, Buchanan looked like a good, strong move inside, but maybe took one too many dribbles and just waited. They get it right to Traversa. Free throw line jumper won't go. Buchanan tried fighting in for the rebound, but it's grabbed by Maggie Dansdale.
Once again, there's an instance where boxing out would have made a complete difference on that rebound.
Going inside. Gaddy jumped up. Open 3 from the corner. Knocked down. Big shot. Chantal Meacham. He's got 8 now with that 3. It's a 91-88 lead for the Thunder. Now out on the wing. Up top. Love to see a 3 match for 3 if you're a fan of the Dutch. Traversa hasn't had an open look. Gaddy steps for a deep 2, and she gets that to go. We'll take that. And not a lot of movement there on the offensive end, but Gaddy had some space. Knocked it down, 1 point game, 3:58 left in the overtime period, 91-90. Wheaton leads the Dutch. They go into the corner inside, and it's just too easy. The Dutch have been losing Wheaton defenders all day. And the percentage of wide open layups Wheaton's had compared to Hope is just astronomically different. That's how they've worked a lot of their baskets. Great basket cutting, great passing. Buchanan turns, nice bucket off to the left side. Back to a 1 point game, 3:32 left in overtime. 1 point lead for Wheaton.
Yeah, Wheaton just has an extra step on their cuts that really get them ahead, and Hope's defense is just half a hit behind, and that half a hit makes a difference.
McDaniels missed right there. Gears gets the board, needs to be careful to hang on. McDaniels on Gears. Gears slows it up now, top of the key. Traversa, Hope down 1, 3:10 left. No movement really going on here for the Dutch. Now they'll set a couple screens. They try to get Traversa the 3, the double screen. Now she'll drive, kick out, Buchanan, wide open jumper. That one in and out. Gears hustles for it, tipped out. And all of the Hope fans on that side claiming that it should be Hope basketball. But the official on top of the play says Wheaton ball.
But with 2:56 left in overtime, you can't have just Traversa crashing on that board. You need all 5 players, to crash the board and get that second chance.
So here we go, out top. Right wing, Meacham now into the corner. McDaniel's going to step up. Help side gets there, it was good. She gets the ball out somehow. Layup no good. Once again, Buchanan able to get the board. 2:35 left. The Dutch still trail by 1. Gaddy, great drive, gets to do it with the right. The Dutch are on top, just like that. 94-93, 2:25 left. Here's McDaniels, already with 34. Going into the middle, now they kick it out. 3 from the wing, this one's off the mark. And this one off Traversa. And now I think the DeVos fans are just gonna let him hear it anytime it's a close play.
The Hope faithful have woken up and will stay awakened in this overtime.
Yeah, emotions running high here in overtime period. Dutch got a 5-second call earlier. Well, not this time. In quickly. Thornton, top of the key. Now to McDaniels. McDaniels looking to drive to the left. Gaddy, now the wing. Meacham looking to drive into the corner. McDaniel steps up. No help side defense there. She missed the layup. Buchanan tips it out. But it's going to be a fresh shot clock for Wheaton. The Dutch continue their rebounding struggles here. They have a 1 point lead, but 2 minutes left exactly. Wheaton gets another chance. That one's tipped by Buchanan. Perkins is fouled, and she is going to have a chance to inbound here. To shoot free throws. Already over 5 fouls for the Thunder. So Perkins, who hit the 2 big free throws to tie. Boy, go back, and so many big moments in this game, but you got to remember the 2 free throws that almost didn't go but did for Perkins just to get to this overtime period. Now she's got a chance to put her team up 3. 1:57 left to go. Perkins leaves this one short. Didn't really get the legs into that one. You could see that going short. I'm not sure that ever got above the rim. Just got to get the legs into it a little more. That'll happen when you tire out later in games. Perkins straight from the soccer field out on the basketball court. No time to rest. Gets a second to go. And it's a 2 point lead for the Dutch. 95-93, 1:57 left to go. Out into the corner. Looked like an open 3. Looked passed up. McDaniels now on the wing. Thinking about sizing up a long one. Now this one's up, and Dansdale won't get it to go. Buchanan with the rebound gets it to Gaddy. This is a huge possession, perhaps the biggest of the game right here. The Dutch with a 2 point lead can get a bucket to go. Gears misses the layup, tried to tip it back in. 1:32 left. This one's tipped, and the Dutch catch a break. Gears just left the layup short.
She's
and then
short
she tried
on
to
that.
tip it in again, but just did not have any power behind it. It came nowhere close. But boy, did the Dutch get a break there. 1:32 left. To Traversa. No way that goes. Okay, she turned around and just tossed that. Didn't really even step into it.
She didn't see the basket.
I'm not sure she saw exactly. She shot before she saw the rim. But I don't know. She was 4 for 4 until then. So if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be her.
And we have seen her make crazy shots like that in the past.
Perkins step back short. Battling for it underneath. Jump ball coming in, and I believe the possession arrow is going to go to Wheaton. So boy, the Dutch could not take advantage of having numerous opportunities to score. They still lead 95-93, but they give the ball back to Wheaton. 1:09 left.
They had a lot of chances, but a lot of panic shots.
Absolutely.
If they didn't have the ball, they were standing still, and that's not what you need. You need a lot of off-ball movement, especially with a minute left to get things going.
Swinging across. McDaniel's going to have an open 3 look from the wing, and of course, could you expect any less from McDaniel's now, who's got 37 points. And they're saying that she was on the line, must be just a 2. They only put 2 up, but I thought she was behind the line. Buchanan inside gets the layup to go. And they do have it fixed on the scoreboard now. It should be a 97-96 lead. 30 seconds to go. Hope up by 1. Inside, wide open, it's missed. McDaniel's missed the wide open layup. Wheaton's gonna have to foul, the shot clock's off. Gaddy's gotta get it over the line too. We're gonna get a timeout from Coach Morehouse. Good call. Gaddy had to get it over half court. And oh my goodness, just when it looked like Wheaton was gonna take the lead, one last possession for the Dutch. McDaniel's, who's got 37 points. With 20 seconds left here, just a 1-point lead for Hope. They could be down 1. And that's not a shot you'd ever expect McDaniel's to miss. She's been money on those layups all day. She hit a 3 just before that and just left it a little long off the back iron. 17 for 34 so far on the day for McDaniel, so shooting 50% from the field. 2 for 5 from three-point land. She got the 1 free throw. 10 assists, though. Big double-double, 37 points, but I bet she would have taken that basket over any of the others. Hope's got a 1-point lead, 20 seconds. We got to inbound and get it past half court. And you got to imagine if Wheaton can't get the trap behind half court, they're just going to have to foul. So big moment here. Hope's got to be ready to make some free throws. Even if they get both to go, could get a 3-point ball from Wheaton. Don't roll double overtime out. I'm not ruling anything out from what we've seen so far this evening.
Hope's definitely going to have to stay poised in this last 20 seconds and get the best shot possible that they can.
Gears will inbound. Traversa in the backcourt with Gaddy. She's got to get it in. There's Perkins. Didn't see her initially. Perkins over the line. She called the timeout. There's a lot of contact there on Perkins. Thunder reaching for a steal, but I didn't see anybody touch the basketball. And that's exactly what you don't want to do if you're Perkins. Dribble right over half court and stop your dribble. And that's the last timeout for the Dutch, so they got to get it figured out this time. Right there, as I mentioned, 15.6 seconds left here. Perkins goes right over half court, stops. Just everything seemed a little off there from the start. Movement wasn't there. Perkins came in. Gears didn't see her right away. It was getting close. And Hope's just got to be poised right here. You're at home. You're an experienced team. You're a team that has won conference championships, knows what they're doing. You're on your home floor. You got to be able to finish things off, at least get to the free throw line here.
And Wheaton's in the passenger seat right now. Yeah, Hope is only up by 1, but in that situation, if Perkins would have just kept dribbling, they would have eventually had to foul her because they need the ball back.
So now Gears will get it in. Bad pass. It's stolen. Gaddy gonna foul. And a good foul from Gaddy there to go up for the block on McDaniels to prevent the automatic layup, but disastrous from Hope. Took 2 timeouts and still could not inbound the basketball with a 1-point lead. McDaniel's down for a moment, so was Gaddy. She looks okay now.
She seems in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Manson wanted an intentional foul there again. He's been fired up this entire second half, which is understandable with his team up 16 at half. And then come back, and you see right there, just no composure, no poise from this Hope team in these final seconds. And it's showing right now as all of a sudden Wheaton with a chance to win the ball game. There's 10 seconds left, a 1-point deficit. McDaniels at the line. She missed the first free throw. Oh my goodness. And you wonder, a little shaken up after she was fouled. 37 points on the night. Huge miss here. She's got to get this one. Traversa and Buchanan in, so good chance for the rebound for the Dutch if they can box out. She gets that one, so we're tied up, and a timeout for Coach Manson for the Thunder. And it's 97 all. 10.1 seconds remaining in this game. The Dutch with a chance to win it. But boy, they had a chance to win it already. They could not inbound the basketball. They just have not been fundamental in their passing a lot of times throughout the game, and it really came back to haunt them at the end there. And now they've got to go the length of the floor, no timeouts. They got to inbound from all the way on the opposite side of the floor. They've got 10 seconds. You know Wheaton's going to try and set up a trap before half court and make something happen. And with 10.1 seconds left, Hope gets 10 seconds to get it past half court. So if they just stayed in the back court, 0.1 seconds would have to stay up on that clock when you think about it for Wheaton. So Hope's got to get this one past. I guess you could throw it up in the air, see what happens. But nonetheless, if you're Hope here, you just got to be smart. You got to show some composure. You don't have any timeouts left, but Wheaton uses one of theirs, which gives you a timeout. And Coach Morehouse drawing something up here. And definitely just need to figure out what it is that you need to do for Hope. Get the ball up the floor. It's a tie game. And we'll see exactly what Wheaton goes with here. Got to imagine they're going to put on some kind of pressure, though, with what they've been able to do to Hope the last couple times. If you just let them go down, set up their offense with 10 seconds, get a shot, I think it's a wasted opportunity for Wheaton. The only thing, bringing some pressure, if you're Wheaton, you got to be careful. If you take a few seconds off and foul, now you send Hope right to the free throw line in a tie ball game. Haven't been able to get it in yet. We'll see what they do here. They get it in for Gears right away. They will not foul. They've got to get it up and get a shot. 6 seconds left. Gears is going to drive to the basket. She puts it up. She gets it to go. What a drive from Maddie Gears. The Thunder will force up a last-second shot. No, they will not. They won't even get a shot off. And the Hope College Flying Dutch win it here at DeVos Fieldhouse. 99-97. The final score in overtime. What a game. Gears with the game winner forced her way inside. 99-97. The Dutch take it. They are 1-0. And who would have thought? Let's take a look at the replay. Gears wasn't sure if she'd get up the floor, running to a trap, and great composure, body position, gets it to go off the glass. And the Thunder could not get a last-second shot off. I think they were just in shock. They did have another timeout left. Surprised they didn't elect to take it with 1.5 left. But nonetheless, the Dutch get the win. Whew, that's about it for me. For now, I need a break. Carly, what do you got?
I just got to say from the get-go, I said Gears is one of those sneaky players that we didn't expect her to make the big play. We thought it was going to be Gaddy. We thought it was going to be a Perkins or a Buchanan or a Traversa, but Gears just comes in and makes that last-second shot with that poise and just did a phenomenal job. But I think right here is some of the best stuff that we're going to see. Both teams lining up around the circle and praying together, and I think that's just a great thing that the closeness of D3 has to offer, and just the true faith and honoring God throughout the sports that both Christian colleges have to offer. So props to both schools and just the phenomenal sportsmanship that they have after the game.
Absolutely, great sportsmanship. Both teams getting together, see some hugs, some players that know each other, some players that have played against each other in high school from the same area. 99-97 the final. Hope shot 50% from the field. Wheaton shot 48. 50% from three for Hope, 42 for Wheaton. 20 turnovers for Hope. They were able to overcome it. 14 turnovers for Wheaton. But Hope somehow able to pull out this victory. So many wild things in this game. I really can't explain how they came out with that victory. It seemed like so many times they were going to give it away to the Thunder. They overcome a 16-point halftime deficit to take the lead, and back and forth the entire second half. And in the end, overtime, clutch free throws from Perkins to send it there, and a clutch finish there by Madison Gears. And Gears finished with 13 points, 15 for Diversa, 27 for Frankie Buchanan, 9 for Smith, 18 for Gaddy, 13 for Perkins. On the other side for the Thunder, Lawson had 16, Dansville had 17, Kyler had 11, Chantel Meacham had 8, and Katie McDaniels, 37 points and 10 assists, leading all scorers. What a fantastic evening. Certainly put up her shots, 34 attempts, but she hit 50% of them, so still an efficient night. That's the final here, 99-97. Not updated on my live stats. 98-97. Hope, 99-97. We'll figure it out eventually. Hope wins by 2.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. And with that, time to go home. Too long of a game. I'm pretty burnt out. I'm pretty exhausted. That was an exciting finish. With Carly Van Swol, I'm Blaine Wiersbicki. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you for the next broadcast. This weekend, the women host the tournament here at DeVos. We'll have every game for you. Thanks for tuning in.